So let me tell you where we really are right now. You guys ready? Let me know if you're ready. Let the church say amen. I don't know if this is going to be a church or more of a lesson, class, both. That's what it is. Because isn't that what kind of sermons are about on Sunday? 269 days. 269. Do you know what that is? That is how long that this man has been back in power. 269 days since he swore that he would drain the swamp, that he would restore transparency and give America the truth. And yet here we are. And here comes the real truth. Nearly 9 months in, and the Epstein files are still sealed. You feel me? The Epstein files still sealed, hidden, locked away behind the same wall of secrecy that they swore that they would tear down. Remember, release the files. I don't know, maybe there's a former president who's in there. Democrats are in there. And now, no, let's stop talking about it. What happened? No names, no flight logs, no evidence, just silence. Silence. The silence is deafening. And that silence is the truth that they fear the most. The truth that is really corrosive. It's damning. It's so damning and corrosive that they will burn the country down before they ever let it see daylight. What is in those damn files? Why are they scrambling so hard to create so much chaos around the country and around the world, to put on these shows and productions and stagecraft every single day, even from the peace deal? That was all staged, all produced, all planned, all of it, every single bit of it. The Charlie Kirk Memorial White Nationalist, Religious Nationalist Rally, planned, produced, all of it produced. Every single day. Well, we're going to have this show. This one is going to start at noon, and that is going to be the White House press briefing. And then the president. So then, Caroline will fight with some people, and then the media will run with that. And then we're going to go into the office, the Oval Office, for a photo op. And then Donald Trump will say something. The president will say something that'll get the media going. And then he's going to announce something and then they'll go with that. And then we're going to go to the Rose Garden. We're going to have a medal ceremony, and then we'll say something, and we'll play some crazy music, like YMCA, even though it's for like Medal of Freedom for Charlie Kirk, and we're playing like gay anthems. It's like just so, and then the media just keeps running with it. Oh, and this is, it's great. The young the Nazi staffer thing. And then they'll go with that. The vice president is going to say something that he supports them and that they're just kids, even though they're almost as old as him. And then the media will go with that. That distraction is why everything that you're watching right now, all the noise, all the rage, all the chaos, it is not random. It is a distraction. It is a smokescreen. It's why he is shouting about enemies and witch hunts. He stood there in the Oval Office yesterday and said out loud that and looked at Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and just said, and this person should be investigated, that person should be investigated. And then he looked at them out of the corner of their eye. What does that mean when he's looking at them? That's like an order. That means, you feel me? He's telling them this is a psychosis. We have a president of the United States standing in the White House, basically directing the lead law enforcement agents in the country to go after his political enemies, shouting about enemies and witch hunts. He is picking fights with the press. He's calling for boycotts. This distraction, this is why he is dangling foreign crises in front of you and screaming about caravans and tariffs and law and order when he doesn't believe in law and order, because he's defying the local officials and the law and order in those cities, states, and towns. It's all meant to keep your eyes off of the thing that really matters. What's in those files? And who are they protecting? Because the truth is the rot doesn't stop at Epstein. It runs through the boardrooms and the back rooms, through the campaign donors and the Supreme Court justices, even through the men who write the laws and who gives him strategy, like the Stephen Millers of the world and even the Steve Bannons of the world. Between the folks who write the laws and the ones who break them, Donald Trump, convicted felon. It runs all the way to the top. And they know it. So what do? It is designed that way. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to exhaust you. And it is working in many respects. But not on me, because I'm going to keep going. So what do? They change the subject. They manufacture outrage. You guys know about manufacturing outrage, right? That's what they're doing. They manufacture crisis, and then they pretend that they fix the crisis that they manufacture. They tell people that don't sign off on this peace deal when Biden was president because it's going to ruin my chances of becoming president. That's what Donald Trump did. And then the same peace agreement that Biden had in place, same language, pretty much everything, then they sign off on it and they take credit for it. Hey, Bibi, do not sign off on this. Hey, Republicans, do not sign off on this. It's going to affect my chances of becoming president negatively. So then just give it a minute. But why did it take 9, almost 10 months? So right now, though, they have taken this to somewhere even really, really, really dark, guys. You know, again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's why I said breathe, start at the start of the show. It's even darker. Yesterday, the president of the United States, the man sworn to uphold the Constitution, he stood on a platform, the biggest in the world, the White House, with the nation's attorney general on one side, the FBI director on the other side, and mused out loud about prosecuting his political enemies. Think about that. His political rivals. Didn't say it in passing. This time he didn't even tweet it out or whatever it is, or social truth it out, something that he thought was. Then he posted it by accident and then deleted it. There it is. Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey? Comey has been indicted. Adam Shifty Schiff. Next, probably. Letitia's been indicted. Letitia James. So this isn't a joke. This isn't Trump derangement syndrome. This is, I'm telling you the truth. He didn't joke. He looked at them out of the corner of his eyes, as I said, like a mob boss giving an order. That's not reckless. It's just not just reckless. It's not just authoritarian. It's insane. We're dealing with insanity. It is sociopathic. It is the language of tyrants and strongmen and regimes that disappear their opponents in the night. It's the actions and the vocabulary of dictators. So I tell you guys not to be scared every day, but I mean, don't be scared of the power that you have to exercise your power. But if you're not terrorized by that, or terrified, by that, if that doesn't shake you to your core, but the idea of a president weaponizing the state against his opponents, then you're just not paying attention. You just don't want to know. And you just don't want to know if that's not. If you think it's okay for you to sit there and just go, okay, well, what is he going to do? I don't know what to do. We got to do something. Because if a Democrat ever even hinted at something like that, this country would be on fire. The same people who are cheering this on, would be calling for impeachment. Before that speech even ended, whoa, wait a minute, breaking news. Everybody would run into the studio. Sean Hannity would be there with Laura Ingraham and who else? I don't know who else is on Fox now. Bill O'Reilly's not there. Megan Kelly's not. Jesse Walters and Greg Gutterfeld, all of them would be running to the studio. Oh, hair on fire. What did you hear what Barack Obama said? He's calling for his political enemies. And they said that about Biden, and none of that happened. Biden, Merrick Garland was like the weakest attorney general in American history, in my opinion. And Biden always said, look, I'm not doing it. I know Democrats are mad. Why am I not proceeding with the Trump, whatever? Because my Justice Department is independent. He never stood there and said Donald Trump should be prosecuted, any of that shit. But when it is him, it's just another day. Did you even notice yesterday before I said that he did that? You probably didn't even realize it. Did you notice it? And that is the thing, that normalization, that shrugging of the shoulders, that's how democracies die. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the country he's supposed to be running is collapsing. This is a shocking thing for me. You sit there and you read stuff online, or you watch the reports or whatever it is, like of the people being rounded up on the streets, and then you get there, you have a whole different feeling about it. Or, oh my gosh, the protesters are causing chaos, and you get there and you say, wait a minute, that's not true. It's really the law enforcement that's doing it, and they're filming, they're videotaping it. Why are they doing that? They're instigating, prodding, pushing, poking. And then, you start talking to people about what due process is, and that we have different degrees of criminality, and they don't understand. Like it's a cult. I always called it blinded by ideology. Blinded by the light, blinded by ideology. Their ideology is their light, and they're blinded by it, even if that light is wrong. This veteran, poor guy, argued with me up and down that the economy is great now under Trump. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you paying attention? Or are you just listening to conservative media, Fox News, and the propaganda coming from the Trump administration? Because if you look at the actual numbers that he's fired people for, and for the bad numbers all around, economic, jobs, all of that, and then the people he brings in, still, they come in with worse numbers. And so, it's just like, that's it, Donald Trump. Your economy sucks. You're bad at your job. So let me play this for you, okay? Just because I know people don't believe, they just think that here's Don just spouting this off, and that I have Trump derangement syndrome, and I don't. It's the truth. So let me just play this. This is some folks who did an analysis of the prices and the situation since Donald Trump took office. Watch.
Let's compare grocery prices from Biden's last day in office with Trump right now in October of 2025. Okay, on January 19, 2025, on Biden's last day in office, this French vanilla coffee was $7.99 a bag. Now, let's flash forward to October 2025. Same coffee, same store, same size, $9.99 a bag. That's a 25% Trump increase. Let's try one more item, bacon. It was $8.15, $7.49 on sale back on Biden's last day, January 19, 2025. How about now? Now it's $9.65 or $8.99 on sale. Either price, it's a 19% increase than what it was back when Biden was president. So 9 months into the Trump presidency, his promise of lowering prices is failing. Double tap that screen, give me a like there so other people can also see the video.
Yeah, I'm going to tap that, give him a like, and give us a like as well. So, story, just a little personal story here. So, my mom came to visit this summer. And, she's been dealing with some things. My sister passed. And so people have been taking care of her. Like my niece is there taking care of her and all, the family. And then she comes here. She's supposed to stay for 10 days. She ended up staying for 7 weeks. And so I was like, Mom, you got to get out and experience life. So I was like, we're going to go to the grocery store. Not only are we going to go to this grocery store, we're not getting in the car. You're going to walk. You're going to do whatever. And so I take her to the grocery store and I said, this is you. She forgot her wallet, by the way. I forgot my wallet. You know that old thing. She took that from my grandmother. Who would, oh, I forgot my wallet. I'm going to start forgetting my wallet when I go out with people and see what happens. But you can't really do that now because they'll just say, you have your phone, right? So I said, Mom, let's go to the grocery store. And then you, since you're here for a while, you pick what you want at the grocery store, the snacks that you want in the house, the food that you want in the house, and whatever. And so I just stood back and I let her, and she was looking for me to push the cart. I'm like, no, you're good. You can push the cart. So, because I want her to get engaged. She's getting older, but still, I want her to engage and just do things that she normally does. And then she was pissed because she's like, oh, you're trying to teach me lessons, huh? And so went to the grocery store. It took a while for her to come around. But when she finally did, she started looking at the prices. And she's like, how much is this? And I said, uh-huh. She's like, American dollars? I'm like, yep. So she didn't look, because my mom took care of the household, the bills, the groceries, she cooked, all of that, right? And was a professional woman and a big breadwinner in our family. So I come from a family of strong women who bring home the bacon fried up in the pan and never, never, never let you forget you're the man. So if you're old enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's an Angelique commercial from back in the day. So she was shocked by the prices, and she sits around all day and she's on her phone and she's watching MSNBC and she knows what's happening. She hears about it, but it's not until you experience it for yourself and then you go, holy shit, this is out of control. This is, oh, someone said that's your mama, spoil her. I do, but she needs to engage in life a bit more. I know my mama. We good over here. So everything that the point is that you don't realize what's happening. You don't realize the collapse, even if you're just sitting at home and watching it play out on television. You got to get out there and experience it. So go to the grocery store and you'll see what's up. The country that Donald Trump is supposed to be running is collapsing. The government is shut down. Millions are going without pay. Essential services are grinding to a halt. Families are skipping meals, rationing medicine, while the White House calls their suffering part of the plan. ICE agents are out assaulting migrants and citizens alike in the streets. Soldiers are patrolling American cities as if those cities were Baghdad or Kabul or someplace in a war zone. There's no emergency in those cities. Inflation is climbing right now. This is the truth. Go look it up if you don't believe me. But stay away from those phony right-wing sites. And I don't know, maybe even the Fox News, if they're going to tell you the truth. But they'll say, well, he needs time to get the Biden economy back on track. No, the Biden economy was on track, and then you messed it up. Prices are higher than they have been in 3 years, everybody. The jobs market is in free fall. And on top of that, tariffs. Donald Trump's tariffs now costing ordinary Americans more than ever before. Groceries, as I said, gas prices, electricity. Everything is more expensive right now. And the people who can least afford it are the ones who are paying the price, the ones who are having to pay higher taxes. People who can really afford it, lower taxes. People who can really afford it, they don't care about a government shutdown. They're rich. Poor people, not so much. Wait till those health care premiums start going up and the doctor's bills. And then, abroad, as I mentioned, you got the ceasefire that is supposed to bring a measure of peace. That could rupture at any moment, and there are signs that it could be rupturing right now. Both sides are fighting, and that could just drag us back into another cycle of bloodshed and violence. Allies don't trust us. They laugh at us. Enemies don't fear us. The world doesn't know whether to laugh or to run. And through it all, Donald Trump is ranting and he's raving and he's pointing his finger, never at himself. It never points it at himself, always at someone else. Because he's not a leader. This is not leadership. It's a pathology. It's not governance. It's psychosis. A man consumed by vengeance that he is willing to sacrifice, so consumed by vengeance that he's willing to sacrifice the country just to settle a score. I thought presidents were supposed to be bigger than that. And for what? To what end? To punish the people who told the truth? To jail the ones that dared to stand up to him? Silence the journalists and the prosecutors and the whistleblowers? The people who refuse to bow, is all of this, the suffering, the division, the chaos, is it worth it? Just so one man can watch his enemy suffer? You did something bad to me, even though he did something bad. So I have to do something bad to you, even if you've done nothing bad. I thought the same people cheering this on claim to believe in the Bible. Where are you, evangelicals? I thought that all of you Christians and you evangelicals and you holier than thou people, you religious nationalist, white nationalist folks, I thought you believed when the Bible said, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. But apparently vengeance belongs to him now. And the Lord will just have to wait. Gotcha, huh? Got your hypocrisy. Vengeance is mine. No, Donald Trump says vengeance is his. So is he the Lord? Perhaps he is yours. He ain't mine. And all that hatred that's pouring from the top doesn't stay there. It trickles down, seeping right into the soil. They always look to blood and soil. Well, this hatred is seeping into American soil, and it is affecting the bloodstream of the nation. You guys understand that. Blood, soil, blood and soil, soil and blood. You get that, huh? Got you again. You see it in the party that he leads. It's now a hollowed out shell of extremism and cruelty, where the GOP has become the MAGA party, and the hate is their organizing principle. That Nazi scandal, you see it, they're exploding inside their ranks. They say young Republicans, they're not so young. Leaders, they are praising Hitler. They're joking about gas chambers. They're fantasizing about genocide. You see it in the way violence is winked at, in the way racism is just brushed aside, in the way cruelty is rewarded in this country. It's not just a few bad apples. It's a whole orchard, and the poison flows from the top. I've used that analogy before. I love using that analogy, especially since this is apple season. And we need to pick some apples up and we need to throw them aside. They need to be cast out, voted out. So I have to ask you, is this who we are now? Seriously, guys, is this who we are now? A country where the president uses the Justice Department as his personal hit squad? Where the government is shut down while billionaires, let me just say that whole Justice Department thing. Remember, it's not his Justice Department, it's our Justice Department. We pay for all of this shit. All of us, we pay for it. They work for us. Don't forget that. Is this who we are now? Where the country uses the Department of Justice as its own personal hit squad, where the government is shut down while billionaires get tax cuts and the poor get lectures about bootstraps. Pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Bootstraps. Let me say that again. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I messed it up. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What if you don't have bootstraps? Maybe you don't right now, but the rich folks have some bootstraps, and they don't need it. They're getting a pull up from the government assistance. This is a country where, is this where ICE beats people up in the streets and we call it law enforcement? Where hate is excused, cruelty is normalized, corruption is celebrated? Are we really prepared to hand over the keys of democracy to a man who sees vengeance as a way of governing, vengeance as policy, where his paranoia is his strategy, and where he feels his power is his birthright? I alone can fix this. Don't underestimate. We cannot underestimate the danger of this moment. It is not normal for a president to fantasize about prosecuting his opponents. Nor is it patriotic. Nor is it American. It's un-American. It is not sane. It's the language of dictators. It's the logic of fascists. And once that line is crossed, it's almost impossible to uncross it, because if we can order the machinery of the state to destroy Donald Trump's enemies, if he can do that, if he can order it to silence the press, he can order it to crush dissent. He can order it to end elections altogether. And if you think that he wouldn't, you haven't been paying attention. So here's my final truth, and it's kind of bitter truth here, right? All of this chaos, the shutdown, the tariffs, the ICE abuses, the inflation, the militarized streets, the Nazi scandals, all of it is cover. It is a distraction from the rot beneath the surface, from the secrets locked away in those Epstein files. I told you I'd bring it back together. This is all about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. From the corruption that links the powerful to the predator, from the names they don't want you to see. Because the longer they can keep us chasing their chaos, the longer they can keep us from demanding the truth. And here's where we stand right now. Either we find the courage to demand it, to demand the files, the truth, the accountability, the justice, or we accept that we no longer live in a democracy. Either we break free from the man's madness or we let it consume the soul of a nation. And if we choose silence, if we choose complicity, if we choose to look away one more time, then we will have no one to blame when the story of America ends. And when the story of America ends, it will not say that a tyrant stole our democracy. It's going to say that we handed it to him. We wrapped it in a flag and we called it freedom. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.